Cold?
No, we're not. It is a bit cold. We're staying in youth hostels, you know.
Oh, right. I haven't been in a youth hostel since I was a kid. Are they still really cold and uncomfortable?
No, not at all. Some of them are fantastic. I mean, they're not like five-star hotels or anything, but they're really comfortable and you meet some really interesting people in them.
Sounds okay. Better than I remember. It's the cycling I don't want to do. How far are you going to ride each day?
About 50 miles or so. It depends. It's more difficult with all the hills and stuff. We haven't booked the youth hostels. They won't be really busy at this time of year. So we'll just stay at the nearest place if we get really tired.
Ah, okay. Sounds great. When are you coming back?
We're getting a train on Sunday afternoon, so we'll get back to London in the evening. About 6 o'clock, I think.
Do you know what I'm going to do this weekend?
No. What are you up to?
Absolutely nothing. I'm going to sit on my sofa all weekend and watch TV. I've got loads of DVDs I want to watch. I'll think of you on your bicycle, though.
I don't know how you can do nothing all weekend, Ravi. I'd get so bored.
I know. I'm going to start going to the gym soon, honest. I can never find the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's time now to move on. As usual, we're going to start with Would Like to Meet. In every podcast, someone comes to the studio and tells us about a famous person, alive or dead, that they'd like to meet. We've got Sean here with us today, so let's start by finding out something about you.
Well, my name's Sean. I'm 17 and I'm from Brighton.
That's where my mum and dad live. I go down there a lot. Great place.
Yeah, it's good. There's plenty to do. Good shops. I'd rather live in London, though.
I bet if you lived in London, you'd want to go back to Brighton. Get some fresh air, see the sea.
Maybe. But then I could visit my mum and dad, like you do, Ravi.
Well, that's true. Yeah, live in London, have family in Brighton. Perfect, really.
And who are you going to talk about today, Sean? Who's the famous person you'd like to meet?
Matt Groening.
The Simpsons guy?
The Simpsons guy? I always thought it was pronounced Groening.
Well, I did too, for a long time. But no, it isn't. It rhymes with raining. Matt Groening.
OK, that's the name sorted out. Tell us a bit about him, Sean.
Well, as you know, he's the guy who created The Simpsons, which is probably the best show on TV anywhere in the world, ever. And a great film, too.
You're a fan, then?
Ever since I can remember. And I just think that the man who created something so brilliant must be a really funny guy. To be honest, I don't know much about him as a person. I know he's really old. He must be 50 or something, at least.
I'm not sure 50 is really old, Sean. My mother wouldn't be very happy to hear that.
Well, you know, whatever. He's older than my dad anyway. That's why I'd like to meet him. He must be really funny and really smart, but he's old. What else do I know? Oh, and I know he's got kids. 2 kids called Abraham and Homer.
Oh, he called his son Homer after Homer Simpson.
Well, maybe not. Homer was his dad's name too. He got all the names from his own family. His mum and dad were Homer and Margaret, Marge for short, and his little sisters are Lisa and Maggie. Bart was going to be called Matt at first, but then he changed his mind. But I read somewhere that the character of Bart Simpson was based on his older brother. I guess I'd like to meet him too.
When did the show start?
In the 1980s. I'm not sure of the year, but it's about 20 years old. But the characters never get any older. I like that. Oh, and another thing I've just remembered. Doll. You know, Homer Simpson's famous doll is now in the Oxford English Dictionary. I think that's pretty amazing. And I can't remember anything else. Doll!
Don't worry about it. That was really interesting.
Thanks, Sean. Another good one there. Ravi, I don't know I haven't asked you this before. Who would you like to meet? Who would you talk about if you were our guest on the podcast?
That's a tough one. There's so many. Matt Groening's a good one. I'd love to meet him. Peter Jackson, who directed the Lord of the Rings films. He'd be really interesting. J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter books. Yeah, maybe her. She seems quite an interesting character.
Yeah, I'd like to meet her too. And remember, listeners, that we're always interested to hear about people that you'd like to meet. Or even cartoon characters.
That's a good one. Which cartoon character would you like to meet and why? Brilliant idea.
So, send your thoughts to us at learnenglishpodcast@britishcouncil.org. That's Learn English Podcast, all one word, at British Council, all one word, .org. That's O-R-G.
Right. Shall we meet the players for our quiz today then? We have a little quiz now with two of our listeners. And this time we've got Ethan. Hi, Ethan.
Hi, Ravi.
And Abby. Hello, Abby.
Hi, Ravi.
Let's start with you, Abby. Where are you calling from?
From Margate.
Ah, at the seaside. Is it sunny down there today?
It is. It's lovely and warm today.
And what do you do, Abby?
I've just left school. I don't know what I'm going to do now.
Well, good luck with what you decide to do. And good luck with today's quiz. Now, Ethan.
Hi, Ravi.
Where are you from, Ethan?
South London.
OK. Well, I know that it's sunny here in London too. What do you do, Ethan?
Nothing at the moment, Ravi. I finished school last year and I'm going to university in a couple of months' time. I've had a gap year and done some travelling.
Ah, fantastic. Where have you been?
I went to South America for 4 months.
Brilliant. Did you have a good time?
Unbelievable. It was so cool.
Right. Today's quiz is another 10-second quiz.
Into Your Turn, the part of the show where we ask you what you think. I told you earlier that I'm going away for the weekend cycling. That's a perfect holiday for me. And that's what we asked people for Your Turn. What's your perfect holiday? Let's hear what they said.
Oh, what a lovely idea. I love holidays. The beach for me. Sitting in the sun with a cold drink, doing absolutely nothing. That would be perfect. Ugh, my next holiday seems ages away.
I just get really bored sitting on a beach all day, with all that sun getting everywhere. I'd rather be in the countryside, or just somewhere where there aren't any crowds. And the beach is always so crowded.
What I really like about a holiday is when I don't have any plan, you know? I like travelling about, and if I like somewhere, I stay there for a few days. And if I don't, I just get on a train and go somewhere different. That's what I really like. When I don't have to worry about timetables and all that stuff.
I would really love to go on a cruise, you know. A holiday on a boat where you travel to different cities. My aunt and uncle went on one last year and said it was great. Everything's planned for you, so you don't have to worry about anything at all. Lovely.
Well, my perfect holiday would be a trip to China. I've always wanted to go there. It just seems so fascinating, so different, you know. And there'd be so much to see. I'd love to tour the whole country. But I guess that would take years.
Ravi, your perfect holiday?
I really want to go to Australia. A couple of my friends went there last year and said it was brilliant.
Yeah, I really like the sound of Australia too. Let us know what your perfect holiday would be. You can send it to us at learnenglishpodcast@britishcouncil.org. Now let's join Carolina again. Carolina is a student from Venezuela who's come to Britain to live, study and have fun. She's really settled in Newcastle. Last time we listened, she was in the pub with her friends from the Conservation Society. This time, Carolina is preparing a special meal for her friends.
Hi, how's it going? Everything under control?
Oh, I'm beginning to panic a bit. The rice and beans are done. They're cooking now. That's for Jamie. He's vegetarian. I need to grill the meat, and I need to make the guasacaca. Oh dear, and I wanted to have a shower. I'm so hot.
What time are they coming?
I told them 8 o'clock. I hope they're late.
Don't panic. You've got plenty of time. What can I do to help? What's whatever it was?
Guasacaca. It's like a salad sort of thing with avocados and herbs. It goes with the meat.
Well, why don't you tell me what to do and I'll make it while you have a shower?
Oh, okay, thanks. You're an angel. You need an onion, some green pepper, some red pepper, some garlic, some parsley, and you chop it all up in quite small pieces and put everything in a bowl. It's all here, look.
Okay, I'll start chopping. How much garlic?
3 of those. What do you call them? The small parts of garlic?
Cloves? You mean cloves? 3 of these?
Yes, that's right.
Then what?
Then you put it in a bowl with olive oil, vinegar, a little sugar and some chili powder. Oh, and some salt.
And what about the avocado?
Oh, you add that at the end. There are 2 avocados in the fridge. You mash one, with a fork so it's like a paste, and the other one you just chop so it's in pieces.
I think I can manage that. And then I add the avocados to the stuff in the bowl.
Yes, and put it in the fridge.
Right, no problem. You go and make yourself look beautiful.
Hi. Here we are.
Oh, hi, Henry.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, did you find it okay?
Yeah, it was easy. We've brought a bottle of wine. It's white. It probably needs to go in the fridge. And we brought these too, for you.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I love chocolate. Thanks.
Can we put our coats somewhere?
Oh, you can put them in my room.
Here, I'll take them.
Well, sit down. Make yourselves at home.
Thanks. It's a nice place you've got here. Great kitchen, really big.
Thanks. Yes, we're very lucky. Now, what would you all like to drink? We've got wine. So here it is. Just help yourselves.
It looks delicious.
Oh, I hope so.
This is good. What's in it?
Rice and black beans, and onion and pepper, and some spices.
Delicious. Is this a traditional Venezuelan dinner then?
Well, in Venezuela we usually eat a big meal for lunch and have a smaller meal in the evening. But yes, it's a traditional meal, nearly. We should have fried, I don't know the word. They're like bananas, big, hard bananas.
Plantains? They look like bananas.
Yes, maybe plantains. Anyway, I couldn't find any, but everything else is traditional.
Hey, we forgot the music.
Oh, no.
Henry, do you want to come and choose something? I'll show you where the CDs are.
Sure.
My room's just through here on the right.
Wow, it's massive, much faster than ours.
I know, I'm really lucky.
Well, here we are then. Just the 2 of us.
Yes.
What?
Oh, nothing, Ravi. I really want to know what's going to happen next.
To Carolina?
And Jamie. Never mind. Right, it's time for Gordon. Are you ready there, Gordon?
Ready?
For new listeners, Gordon tells us a joke every week. If you like bad jokes, you'll love Gordon.
Thanks, Tess. Right, I've got a parrot for you this week.
Another parrot?
Yes, a parrot and a magician. A magician who worked on a cruise ship, the big ships that people have holidays on, had a parrot. But the parrot had seen the magicians act hundreds of times and knew all the tricks. So, whenever the magician did his act, the parrot just sat there looking really bored because he'd worked out how the magician made things disappear. Anyway, one night during the magician's show, the ship hit an iceberg and sank.
Oh.
The only survivors were the magician and the parrot. The magician managed to climb into a lifeboat and immediately fell into a deep, deep sleep. A little bit after that, the parrot came and sat on the edge of the lifeboat and stared at the magician. The magician slept for 3 days, and the parrot didn't take his eyes off him. It just stared and stared and stared. Finally, the magician opened his eyes, and the first thing he saw was the parrot watching him like a parrot. Another hour went past, and the parrot didn't take his eyes off the magician. Then the parrot opened its beak and squawked, "All right, I give up. What did you do with the ship?"
No. That's terrible, Gordon. I still prefer the jokes about dogs. Actually, maybe some of our listeners could send you some new jokes. The address for jokes, or anything else you want to send to us, is learnenglishpodcast@britishcouncil.org.
We have to go now, but in a moment you can listen to Tom, our English teacher, who'll be talking about some of the language you heard in this podcast and things to help you learn. So, stick around to listen to Tom, but we'll say goodbye for now. Bye!
You are listening to a Learn English elementary recording from the British Council.
Hello again, my name's Tom, and at the end of every podcast